Every man, at some point in his life, has quietly asked himself a painful question. Why do some men attract women so effortlessly, while others give everything and still get overlooked? You see it everywhere. One man barely tries, stays relaxed, speaks calmly, and somehow women seem naturally drawn to him. Another man pours out attention, loyalty, time, and emotional energy, yet he ends up waiting, wondering, and feeling invisible. That contrast creates a deep kind of frustration. Not anger, not jealousy, confusion. It makes you look inward and ask, what does he have that I don't? And the answer is rarely what you think. It is not about looks, money, height, or status. Those things can get attention, but they do not create emotional pull. They do not create attachment. And they definitely do not create obsession. What truly separates men is something far quieter and far more powerful: their inner emotional state. The way they hold themselves, the way they respond to pressure, the way they remain grounded when others become reactive. When a woman feels that kind of emotional stability in a man, something shifts inside her, and that shift is where attraction truly begins. Most men believe attraction and obsession are the same thing. They think if a woman is smiling, texting, laughing, or spending time with them, she must be emotionally attached. But attraction is only the surface. Obsession is something much deeper. Attraction can be triggered by looks, charm, or confidence. A woman might enjoy being around you, flirt with you, or even feel excited by you. But obsession is what happens when she keeps thinking about you, even when you're not there. It's when your presence leaves an emotional imprint that lingers. The mistake most men make is trying to create obsession through effort. They give more attention, more compliments, more reassurance, and more availability. But that doesn't make a woman more emotionally connected. In many cases, it makes her feel emotionally crowded. What actually creates obsession is emotional contrast. When a man is calm while others are reactive. When he is grounded while others are desperate. When he listens without needing to impress. That emotional difference makes a woman feel something unfamiliar and powerful. She doesn't just feel liked, she feels intrigued. She feels emotionally pulled, and that is where real attachment begins. The men women feel most drawn to are not the loudest, the most aggressive, or the most flashy. They are the ones who are deeply rooted in who they are. Being rooted means you don't change yourself to be accepted. Your opinions, your values, your tone, and your emotional center stay steady no matter who you are talking to. You can be kind, open, and warm, but you do not abandon yourself just to keep someone interested. When a woman senses this in a man, something important happens. She feels emotional safety. Not the boring kind, but the deep kind. The kind that allows her to relax, open up, and feel curious. A rooted man does not panic when a woman's mood shifts. He does not rush to fix, explain, or prove himself. He listens, he stays present, and he remains grounded. That calm energy creates trust, and trust creates attraction. This does not make him cold or distant. It makes him emotionally strong. He can care without collapsing. He can connect without losing his identity. And that balance is rare. When a woman meets a man who is rooted in himself, she doesn't feel the need to test him or control him. She feels something much more powerful: respect. And respect is the doorway to deeper emotional attraction. In today's world, most people live in a constant state of emotional movement. Their moods change with messages, attention, and social validation. One good text makes them feel confident. One ignored message makes them feel anxious. Their inner world is always reacting to what is happening outside of them. Women are very sensitive to this emotional noise. Even when it is not spoken, they can feel it. A man who is constantly unsure, overthinking, or emotionally tense creates an atmosphere of instability, and instability does not feel safe. That is why emotional stability stands out so strongly. When a woman meets a man who is calm, centered, and at ease with himself, it feels different immediately. His presence is quiet but powerful. He does not rush. He does not chase. He does not need to be validated. This creates curiosity. She begins to wonder why he feels so steady, why he does not seem affected by small emotional changes, why he feels so comfortable in his own skin. That calm confidence creates emotional gravity. It makes her want to move closer, not because he is pushing, but because he feels safe to be around. Most people think listening is simple. You hear someone talk and then you reply. But real listening is rare, especially when it comes to emotional connection. Most men listen with an agenda. They are waiting for their turn to speak. They are thinking about how to sound smart, confident, or impressive. Some are trying to fix problems. Others are trying to give advice. And many are simply trying to be liked. But the man who creates deep emotional attachment listens differently. He listens to understand, not to control the conversation. He does not interrupt. He does not rush to solve. He allows her to express herself fully. When a woman feels truly listened to, something powerful happens. She feels safe. She feels respected. She feels seen in a way that goes beyond surface attraction. That feeling builds trust, and trust builds emotional connection. Over time, she starts to associate that feeling of calm understanding with him. She wants to talk to him more. She wants to share more of herself, not because he is entertaining, but because he makes her feel emotionally understood. This is how attachment forms quietly, not through dramatic moments, but through consistent emotional presence. A man who listens deeply becomes someone a woman naturally feels drawn back to again and again. An emotionally sovereign man does not lose himself inside someone else's feelings. He can care deeply, but he does not become emotionally dependent on another person's moods, reactions, or approval. If a woman is happy, he enjoys it with her. If she is upset, he stays calm. If she becomes distant, he does not panic. This creates something extremely powerful: emotional balance. Most men unknowingly give their emotional control away. Their confidence rises and falls based on how much attention they receive. Women feel that, and when they do, it creates pressure. Pressure makes attraction fade, but a man who remains emotionally steady creates a completely different experience. He feels grounded, he feels safe, he feels reliable without being boring. This is deeply attractive because it allows a woman to relax emotionally. She does not feel responsible for his happiness. She does not feel that she must constantly reassure him. Instead, she feels free to be herself. And when a woman feels free and safe at the same time, her emotional attachment grows naturally. Emotional sovereignty is not about being cold or distant. It is about having an inner world that belongs to you. A man who is emotionally grounded does not need to chase. His calm presence already does the work for him. One of the most powerful things a man can offer is consistency. Not perfection, not intensity, consistency. A consistent man does not change who he is based on who he is talking to. The way he speaks, the way he listens, the way he treats people stays the same. Whether he is with friends, strangers, or a woman he is attracted to, his energy remains steady. This creates trust. When a woman senses that a man is emotionally predictable in a healthy way, she feels safe around him. She does not have to guess how he will react. She does not feel the need to protect herself emotionally. That emotional safety allows her to open up. And when she opens up, attachment forms. In contrast, men who constantly change their behavior to be liked create uncertainty. One day they are confident, the next day they are needy. One day they are relaxed, the next day they are anxious. That emotional inconsistency makes it difficult for a woman to feel secure. A consistent man, on the other hand, becomes a stable emotional reference point. His presence feels grounding, and that feeling is what keeps a woman coming back. Obsession is not built through drama, it is built through emotional reliability. When a man tries too hard to impress a woman, it sends a message he does not intend to send. That message is not love or confidence, it is insecurity. Constant texting, over-explaining, excessive compliments, and always being available may seem caring, but emotionally, they create pressure. A woman begins to feel that she is responsible for his happiness, and that weight slowly weakens attraction. Attraction needs space to breathe. A man who is comfortable with himself does not need to perform for approval. He can express interest without desperation. He can show affection without fear of losing control. That creates a powerful emotional contrast. Instead of feeling chased, she feels chosen. Instead of feeling pressured, she feels curious. The moment a man stops trying to earn a woman's attention and starts valuing his own time and energy, his presence becomes more meaningful. Women are not drawn to men who sacrifice themselves for connection. They are drawn to men who can offer connection while still respecting themselves. That balance creates desire, not effort alone. At the end of the day, women do not remember every word a man says. They remember how they felt when they were with him. Did they feel calm? Did they feel safe? Did they feel understood? Did they feel respected? Or did they feel pressure, tension, and emotional responsibility? Your inner emotional state shapes every interaction. A man who is anxious creates anxious energy. A man who is calm creates a calm experience. A man who is secure creates emotional comfort. When a woman feels emotionally at ease around a man, she begins to associate that feeling with him. His presence becomes something she looks forward to, something she misses, something her mind naturally returns to. This is how a man becomes unforgettable, not through flashy words or dramatic gestures, but through the emotional environment he creates. A grounded man brings clarity instead of confusion. He brings stability instead of chaos, and that makes every interaction feel meaningful. That emotional experience is what lingers long after the conversation ends. Women do not become emotionally attached because a man is perfect. They become attached because a man feels emotionally safe, steady, and authentic. A man who knows himself does not chase approval. A man who respects himself does not beg for attention. A man who is emotionally grounded does not lose his balance when emotions rise. This inner stability creates attraction more powerful than any words or gestures ever could. When a woman feels calm in your presence, curious about your mind, and free to be herself around you, attachment begins naturally. There is no pressure, no forcing, no manipulation, just connection. Real emotional pull is created when you choose yourself first, your values, your peace, your identity, and then invite someone into that space. That is the kind of energy that stays in a woman's mind long after you leave the room, and that is what makes a man truly unforgettable.